Let's do it.
It's sad that we grow up in an age where having fun is breaking the rules or doing stuff that are immoral or doing stuff against God. When the reality is, the best joy and living for God is like the best thing you can do. There's a certain joy you get from living from God and doing things for God that you won't get anywhere else.
It's inexplicable, eh?
Yeah, and it says in Ecclesiastes, the end of Ecclesiastes, that was written, by the way, by the wisest man to ever live, Solomon, other than Jesus Christ, where it says, in conclusion, the whole purpose of us is to serve God and obey His commandments. And if we don't do that, then we're essentially not living to our full purpose. So we're living a life trying to chase after, certain joy that like seasons, they come and go, and we just constantly be chasing after periods of joy here and there, but at the end of the day, we're just empty. But if we live as Christians and we live for God, no matter what we do, we'll always have that joy in us. And it's a shame that in this day and age, people just think that I need to get drunk, or I need to do drugs, or I need to, sleep with this person or so on to enjoy my life. But when the reality is, but the reality is, the best joy you're ever going to have is living for Christ.
It's funny, I don't remember who said it, but I think it was either last year or the year before, a pop star said it, a singer. He goes, who was it? No, I'm not going to remember. He said this, right? He goes, I've had it all. I had #1 albums. I got any girl I wanted. I was partying every night. Anything I wanted was at my command. I had all the money, but for some reason I still feel empty. And it's full on. You're right, Goose. It's not about, trying to accumulate all this stuff. It's about living your life for God. And if you don't, your life is going to be pointless and useless.
People don't realize that you can spend your whole life working. I know there's a joke going around that I'm all about the money because I love to work. But I'm joking. But the thing is, you can work your whole life trying to be rich, and you can be rich. And you can work your whole life trying to be famous, and you could be famous. You can work your whole life trying to have a great amount of friends, and you might have that. And you work your whole life trying to get as many cars as you want, and so on and so on. But at the end of the day, when you die, you can't take none of that with you. So none of that's going to matter. It's like working towards something that has no reward at the end of it.
100%, bro.
The Bible talks about it as well. For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?
Yeah.
Talk about that pop star that had it all, and had #1 albums, and did all the drugs and experimented everything, and then you come to a point where he goes, I still feel like there's something missing, and that what he's missing is Christ.
100%, bro. And that's a cliche, big cliche, but it's legit. And if you don't know Christ, you're listening to this or whatever it is, man, there's something else about it. Like, you can't explain the change in your life more than what goes down, bro. Because what he does and how he changes your motives, he changes your mindset, your lifestyle, the way you make your choices, the way he changes all that is unreal. It's crazy. It's
pretty crazy. Like, we talk about those big reality stars, and even just people that are regular day to day that have worked and have forged out themselves successful careers, and then they still say with everything that they have and everything they've gained, they're still missing something. That's the crazy part of it all. They've gained everything that the world had to offer, and yet there was that main thing that they were missing.
Yeah, they didn't realize.
But then when you try to, if the opportunity ever came where they must have heard about God, they were like, God, who's that? And get out of my face, and reject that straight away without even thinking, what, it could be something, it could be something real that I'm not really taking into account.
Juicy.
And there's just a false idea that I believe that the devil is just spreading around the world that the purpose of life, what's the purpose of life? And I've heard so many different types, and it's just being happy. Like, that's just so easy to do. Like, what's the purpose of life? Oh, be happy. But, you look at some people's situations, some people, it's just how it is. Okay. They have it tough.
But what brings happiness?
Exactly.
So, like you were saying before, you can try fill it with money, with people, with drugs, whatever it is, with stuff. Like, what's happy?
Exactly. Can I tell you? I've heard a saying: once you make it, you've had it. That pretty much means that once you reach the end, that's it. Like, there's nothing left for you. Like, that's it. You've had it.
Yeah.
And can I tell you, chasing after all those things can only make you happy for so long, but it runs out eventually.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who have a lot of money and are always depressed and not fulfilled, and have gone through different types of marriages because the one marriage wasn't fulfilled, and their kids, some of them, they don't know who they are.
It's that void, bro. It's that void of trying to find Christ, but filling that spot with something else.
And can I tell you, I know Christians who, for a fact, I know don't make a lot of money, but are living the happiest of their lives. Their family's healthy, their kids, they know who their kids are, they listen to them, they have a happy marriage with their wife, and you can see how much God blesses them. They don't need to be technically financially rich,
Yeah.
but God blesses those who are obedient to Him.
Stato.